Good morning and welcome to Transformational Thursdays with Coach Ellis. This is the day where I go over quotes, quips, and cruminisms. These are words and phrases that I've collected over the years or I've designed myself to help us walk this path of life. Today I want to quote perhaps I think one of the greatest athletes to have ever lived. Last year there was this great controversy at the United States Open, the U.S. Open tennis tournament. And Serena Williams was penalized 3 times for what many tennis enthusiasts think were minor things that no one ever is penalized for, especially the men. She had a confrontation with the judge and basically demanded that he apologize for being unfair. In this tournament, she lost to an upcoming newcomer. I think it's Osaka. And this young lady won the tournament and beat Serena Williams. But when she went to collect her trophy, the fans were booing, and Serena Williams stopped and said, "No, stop. This is her moment. You may be unhappy about what happened to me, but don't ruin her moment." And the story goes that her and this young lady, Osaka, had several conversations throughout the year. And Serena wrote a first-person essay for the August edition of Harper's Bazaar. And part of what she was saying in this, and this is where the quote comes in at, she said that, I want to get the quote right, that she felt defeated and disrespected at a sport that she loved, one that she had dedicated her life to, and her family had truly changed. Not because they were welcomed in the sport, because they would not stop winning. Now, as powerful as that is, not because they were welcome, because they would not stop winning. And she went on to say, and this is our quote for the day, if they won't listen to your words, convince them with your winning. What a powerful statement. Too often we try to convince people by simply talking about it. And when Serena Williams said, hey, I stopped talking about it and I started being about it. And even though folks disagree and they say all kinds of mean things about her, here's what we know about this young woman. She helped change the tennis world, and her thought is that if I can't convince them because I tell them I'm good, I convince them by my winning. Does this remind you of anybody else? Muhammad Ali did the same thing. He talked a lot. If you couldn't convince them by his talking, he could persuade them by his talking. He convinced them by his winning. Okay. Any and every great athlete who talked a lot. Michael Jordan talked a lot of trash, but he didn't convince them. He didn't persuade them by his talking. He convinced them by his winning. What a statement to us today. In every walk of our life, there will always be people who will not hear you when you speak. Convince them by your winning. If you're in a workplace, convince them by winning the contract, by winning the argument. Convince them by doing the right things in spite of all the pressure against you. Convince them by your win. If you are in school and folks don't think you're smart enough, don't talk about being smart enough. Convince them with the A. Convince them with the research page. Convince them with your winning. If you're a parent and you're having trouble with your children and you're talking to folks about how to raise your children, don't try to persuade them by your talk. Convince them with your winning. Find out how to parent, how to provide for them. Convince them with your winning. Nothing replaces that burn within us. I remember several years ago that there was a football coach, and he was talking to his team, and he said, "Guys, look, I can give you all the skills, but I cannot put into your heart the will to win. I can give you the skills of Tiger Woods, but I can't give you his heart to win." Serena Williams spells it out for us. If we can't persuade them with our words, convince them with our winning. I challenge you on this day. Where have you talked a lot and haven't delivered as much? Stop talking and start walking. Stop talking about it. Start being about it. Don't convince them with your words. Convince them with your winning. Hey, I'm Coach Ellis. Got questions or comments? Leave them down below. Hit me on Facebook at Coach Ellis Crum. Shoot me an email at Coach at elliscrum.net. Until next week, have a one tablet's transformational Convince Them With Your Winning Thursday. God bless you, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.